Good afternoon. You made it through Tuesday. Yay. Well, we're almost there. Let's give it a second for everyone to hop on. Welcome to Ask Your Trainer Tuesday. We're going to hope my internet holds out. We've been having some issues today. Oh, all right. There we go. I'll just give it a second. Sarah is joining us.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We may just have a conversation between ourselves here because no one's hopped on yet except us. But that's
That's
okay.
all right. They can watch it after.
We can just chat back and forth.
Sounds good. How are you, Kim?
Good. How are you? So I guess we'll introduce ourselves if you want to go first.
Hi. I am Sarah Donato. I am the strength and conditioning coach and the women's assistant soccer coach for the Seneca Sting.
Nice. And I'm Kim. I am the fitness coordinator for Seneca York. And today we are here because Sarah and I are both really, really interested in sports, both being, I guess we can call ourselves athletes.
We're retired athletes.
Yes, so we both participate in sports. We're both into fitness. And we are here today to chat about keeping your fitness levels up, especially when it's the off season for sports, or like this year when everything's been canceled and we expect to go back next year. So Sarah's going to give us her viewpoint, being a strength and conditioning coach, also being a younger athlete than myself, and working with younger athletes. And we can, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment box there and let us know, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. So, Miss Sarah, what are your recommendations? What are your ideas of maintaining fitness when it's the off season, when it's something like this?
I think that it has. Okay, so there's a big overview. I've learned a lot about it with all the athletes and just how they're responding to it. So I find mental health is a huge thing with the fitness. So if you look at any scientific study, they're going to tell you that fitness it's going to produce endorphins and you'll be happier from it. So all these athletes that are saying, I don't have any motivation, I don't feel good. I think that fitness is more critical than it is when we are in season, in the sense of our entire well-being. So it's so important to stay just on a base level of fitness as an athlete. But as a high performance athlete, I highly think that you hold yourself to a standard, and that standard is whether you have a season or not, you're going to be a high performance athlete for at least the next year or the next couple years, or who knows how long if you decide to pursue professional. But you owe it to yourself to keep up with your fitness regimen, to be able to say, hey, I conquered this. And that says a lot about adversity, and it says a lot about going through all of this, is that it shouldn't be an excuse to not do your fitness, which I find a lot of people are kind of reverting to that, which is a natural human instinct, is that we don't want to do it because it's harder, because we don't have that goal set. But this, if anything, should push us to push for that goal, even with it not in the near future. So I think, if anything, fitness should be tackled head on and full speed ahead. If anything, it's only going to better you for the future. It's long term, right?
Yeah.
So that's my view.
What's your view on it? So
Go on.
that's great, because we are heading into Wellness Week next week as well, and World Mental Health Day is on Saturday. So it is great to realize that fitness, mental health, and that all our lives are connected that way.
Yeah.
So dealing with athletes, can you suggest some things? So say you were talking to me being a soccer player, I think like yourself as well.
Yeah.
What would be some tips for me being in an off season? What should I do?
So I would recommend, is if a lot of athletes, what I'm finding is that they feel like they've lost all of their progression, all of their gains, and they feel like they're starting from square one, which, you know what, everyone goes through highs and lows. Nobody is up here all the time when it comes to working out. So my suggestion would be, start little. It all starts with small gains, small steps, and then that's the bigger picture. So if you can get up and do a minimum of 30 minutes of exercise a day, that's somewhere to start. Whether it's a 30-minute walk, whether it's a 30-minute jog, whether it's a 30-minute run, whatever you're capable of at, you need to start somewhere, but start with at least 30 minutes because that's a recommended average for any Canadian, not even high performance. So that's a good base to start at if you feel like you need to restart.
Cool. That's the same thing I say to my team every year.
Yeah, right?
So being a little bit older, so still playing sport. And, you know, fortunate now that you can get involved with the sport all year round. There really is no off season anymore. So I know with my soccer team, the girls that I've been with for a very, very long time, like a lot of us play indoor soccer. So we go from outdoor into indoor. The problem is indoor is only 1 day a week, outdoors 3. Yeah. So you kind of see the fitness level, and indoors a little bit of a different game. It's only an hour. There's a question there. Oh, thanks, Steve. We will get to that question in a second. He's baiting us here, I think. So it's interesting because when the outdoor season starts in May, like first game, everyone's hurting, like hamstrings, knees, ankles. And I just kind of sit there and I just wag my finger at them going, what did we tell you last year, right? Yeah. You can't just expect the weekend warriors that are out there that you're going to run out onto the field and play 45 minutes of soccer. And you're not even playing on the best kept fields. Yeah. They're horrible for rec sports.
Oh, I
right?
know. I am with the older, the ladies team now too. So I know the conditions are not, it's not Seneca game ready. That's for sure. But I think that it's something that everyone hears over and over, but it's the simple things done extremely well. So your stretching, your warm up, your cool down, those 3 things right there are vital to injury prevention, especially as you get older. And I always tell the young athletes, I say, you'll appreciate it when it's too late, when you realize that you're not going to recover as quickly as you did your first year. You're going to need those ice baths. You're going to need to be stretching. You're going to need to warm up. Because I can tell you all my injuries that I've acquired has been from lack of fitness. And that's where injury comes from, is your fitness, the demand of your sport, your body isn't able to keep up with the demand of your sport, and that's how you get injured. And this is actually an optimal time to take advantage of the fact that you're not playing your sport and work on the fundamentals of building a base, a strong base. So doing simple things like perfecting your squat, perfecting how to do your lunges, perfecting how to do a plank, and perfecting how to do push-ups. Those to me are so important. And then those right there, if you can get those down and be able to do those properly, those are basic fundamental moves that are going to be you're going to be able to translate those skills of those exercises into everything else you do, because it's full body activation. A plank is full body, a squat is full body, a lunge is full body, a push-up is full body. It's requiring full body weight, which requires you have to play a sport full body. Maybe you're using your arm to throw, but you're using your body to run to that next base, right? So it's so important that we get those fundamentals. And I always recommend those 4 exercises. They're my favorite 4 exercises. Simple things done extremely well. The wise words of Vince Lucente, our past strength and conditioning coach that we had. And I live by that. It's not about doing all these fancy moves that you see on Instagram, that you see on YouTube. It's about perfecting the small, basic moves that most people don't even know how to do a squat properly. And most people can't do a push-up properly. When I saw the plank challenge and like all these challenges, I was like, oh my goodness, let me help you. It's not out of a place of critiquing, hey, you're not strong enough. It's just ignorance. People don't know how to do it. And it's learning how to do those things will help translate into everything they do in the gym, in exercise, in your sport. So I think that's vital for it.
Cool. So we'll answer Steve's question. It did pop up, and then I'll answer the one that came up as well. So Steve was asking, so how long does it take for an athlete to get back into that performance shape after a layoff? So we're going to assume that this is a healthy athlete who has decided to take the pandemic, sit on the couch, watch Netflix to the extreme, and is now expecting to rejoin a sport.
I would say, so if you're talking of a healthy athlete and it's been over how long has it been? 8 months, 9 months?
6, 7, almost 7.
7 months. Okay, so at this point, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to start losing strength gains. It takes 2 weeks to start losing endurance gains. But the thing about endurance and your fitness and your cardio is that's the quickest to get back. So you can get, I can honestly say, if you're dedicated to the program and you're dedicated to your workouts, you can get back in shape within a month. Especially for the younger you are, the easier it is. So if you are staying without all injuries, if you're a healthy athlete and you're able to get up and start moving, and you regiment properly and you factor in your ratio of work rate, I would give it a month. A month. They have muscle memory. They're high performance. There's no reason why they can't be back in shape within a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
I always tell the kids that I work with, because they always complain, I don't understand why we have to run labs during practice or when we don't have practice. Teenage girls were the worst when I coached them, trying to do an off season with them. I don't understand why we do it. I'm like, do you think LeBron James takes the entire off season off? No, maybe a week. And then he's back in it, and kind of get them to see that way too. The big athletes, the professional athletes, still train during their season and during their off season. There is no huge break. So if you want to be top of your sport, you got to put the work in, right?
That's always the thing, is that what I'm noticing working with a lot of athletes is, or just humans in general, is they say, I want it. And then when it actually comes down to showing that they want it and things get tough, that's where you start to really see the people who persevere through it. And not to say that if you fail, it's not a game ender. So say you have 2 weeks and you're on top of your fitness regimen and you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden you dive off for that week. There's no reason you can't get back on that horse and keep going, right? Like, I feel old saying that. You know what I mean? No, like it's so many athletes feel like, I can't do it. I've failed. I have failed so many times. I still have days where like I'm guilty because I'm like, I ate way too many chocolate chip cookies. Like, I'm a strength coach. I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm human. And the thing is learning not to beat yourself up when you're down, and to just say, let's just get up and do something. Because the chances are, if you get up and you actually do a 30-minute workout, that you're going to feel a little bit sore. The next day you're going to be like, I want to feel that soreness even more. Like, it's going to push you. So it's not about staying on top and staying up there and staying at that level. It's just about starting and getting back up. The more you fail, and you look at all philosophers, and there's something to it, the more that you fail, the more you learn how to persevere through that failure. So, yeah.
Very good, my friend. So there was a question about varsity soccer tryouts. There are no varsity sports going at the moment. So stay tuned to the website. Our IG account here. If anything does pop up, it will show up in our social media posts and on the website for any information on that. That's something we can't answer, unfortunately. We are up in the air just as much as a lot of stuff with everything that's going on. Okay,
but I can offer, though, Kim, I think I could, if sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
If they're looking to come play for any varsity team, they can always reach out to me on Seneca Performance, and they could just say, hey, I'm looking to try out. What can I do to make sure that I am at the standards of what's expected as a varsity athlete? And by all means, I will help them, no problem. I have no problem giving people fitness advice to get them in shape. There's nothing, I love to do that. So reach out to me, and I can tell you what's expected for fitness testing of a soccer athlete at Seneca, and you can work on those on your own. So when the time comes and tryout comes, you will be more prepared for it.
You want to come help my team?
Yeah, I can. Reconnect with me after. I can come train them.
Early indoor starts in a couple of weeks. It's not going to be pretty.
I don't think it will be for anyone.
Yeah, it's going to hurt. And I'm pretty active all day long, every day, but I know it is going to hurt.
I'm with you.
Okay. I think that's about everything, unless there's anything we missed. I don't think so. But we'll let you get on with the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll be able to do another live coming up in the future.
I'd love
a lot of fun. I know, we don't get a lot of chances to talk to one another, so this is great.
This is nice.
And we share the love of soccer.
Yeah, and everybody loves
soccer player. What's that?
Everybody loves a fellow soccer player. We can connect, same mindset.
Yes, and we all hate running.
Yeah.
tell a soccer player to run. We're like, no,
It's
but
so
in soccer practice, give us a soccer ball. What do we do?
yeah, I
We
know.
run.
Yeah. There has to be a ball at our feet for us wanting to move forward.
Yes, that's the
Ironic
same
as
thing with the
that
kids. I have to give them a ball because
It's
if
funny.
not, you won't run.
I know.
Yeah.
I say, I'm like, soccer players. I'm like, they're like, why do we have to run? I'm like, soccer players are one of the most fit endurance players in any sport. It's a 90-minute game. You're expected to stop and go, stop and go. So what makes you guys think that you don't have to stop and go and practice? You know, train how you play. We're just doing what you're playing like. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
My favorite is coaching basketball. Why are we running? You don't run in basketball. Like the whole game is running.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Kids and their viewpoints. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
They'll
Yeah.
run when they're our age and they're like, oh, I get it now. I get it.
Right. When your knees don't work and your shoulders crack and you
When
you
you
can't
can
go
feel
up
the
the
weather
stairs.
changing. You can feel the weather changing. That's when you know.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys. That is it from the old women's diaries of soccer players, apparently. One day we'll just compare injuries. How about that?
Okay, we can do that. That could be our next one.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. for a live, and then tomorrow at 3:30 for Wellness Wednesday. And we also have fitness classes running on Zoom. If you can connect through our website, senecasting.ca, they're from 12:40 to 1:10. Got to do math, sorry. Oh my goodness. And tomorrow is muscle conditioning, and Sarah will actually be teaching Friday, so she'll be doing core and strength. So tune in then. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.